going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dueling podcast. Today, I'm with Geek. He's over to the other side. That right? That way?
Yeah, you got it. Good work.
Let's go. Geek.
Ah.
Hello. How you doing today? I'll take a page out of Jake's book.
I don't know, man. It's been a long week.
It's Sunday.
I had to go deal with it's the end of the week. I know a lot of idiots like to think Sunday's the beginning of the week. No, it's not. The week starts on Monday.
God's calendar?
What?
On the 7th day, he rested.
No,
I think you're in God's calendar.
99% of the world, Sunday is your last day off for the week. It's not your first day off for a new week. It is your last day off for the previous week. Week starts on Monday, ends on Sunday, man. Just use your brain and think about it. Don't trust calendars that want it to start with an S and end with an S. That's just wrong. Probably racially motivated.
The S is at the beginning, and the T's also. It looks nicer. It goes S-M-T.
I don't care that it looks nicer. It's wrong.
S. It looks nice,
but it's wrong.
Well, you know what else is wrong?
You most of the time. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
How are you doing, Grayson?
I'm here.
I'm sorry for that. Got to deal with
me.
You
wanted me here.
Yeah, but you got to deal with me. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, buddy. But today we're gonna talk about Dune. I took notes.
Bro took notes. Why did bro take notes?
Yeah.
You don't take notes.
Exactly.
I don't. Don't say yeah exactly like I'm supposed to know that means something.
Then you need to make sure I had all my thoughts in order.
Don't worry. Normally, I bet even after taking notes, you're still gonna have something completely wrong.
Yeah. What the fuck did it? What?
Twilight Eclipse stuff. What? Did you make yourself bleed?
No, that happened randomly. It's been happening all day where I just have a random open wound.
That's not normal.
I think I'm just decomposing at this point, you know? I'll try to hold off before it finishes.
I almost made a joke that was going to sound really bad.
Probably.
It was a vampire-related joke, because, you know, the internet's decided I'm a vampire.
Alright, Starian.
No. I would never.
Have you seen Dune before?
No.
Neither have I. So this is my first viewing.
Yeah.
I've been intending to watch this series because Florence Pugh and Anya Taylor-Joy are in the next movie. And
I thought Zendaya was supposed to be in this one.
She is like in person.
It is a 3-hour-long movie, and she's in it for 4 minutes, dude.
So say she's an actual character for maybe 5 minutes.
And I'm only sure of the like dream vision versions of Zendaya being Zendaya like twice. I'm only positive it's Zendaya when we see her face. Otherwise, it's just unnamed person in a robe.
Fair. But Geek, what do you think about this movie?
I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's hyped this up as like, and like, it's not bad by any means. It is definitely one of like I think one of the better movies we've watched. We've also been on a run of weirdness. I don't hate it, but like this idea that it's one of the greatest movies of all time is kind of crazy.
Here's my thought after I finish the movie. This movie is a Dorito bag.
Elaborate.
There's a lot of good shit in it, but most of the bag is air.
Oh yeah, sure, true, fair.
That's just what I felt about the movie. There's a lot of good ideas.
By the way,
a lot of good ideas.
Cast is crazy
for a movie that doesn't do shit. Half the runtime is them walking or flying away.
Thanos and Moon Knight are working together, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
It took you a second. You're like, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, every scene that I guess I had ever seen.
And Aquaman.
Yeah. No, that's Khal Drogo.
You really want to talk about Game of Thrones after the last 2 seasons?
I'd rather talk about Game of Thrones all the time. I love Game
Maybe
of
we'll-
Thrones.
Maybe one of those Friday episodes will actually do a Game of Thrones season.
Ooh, can we? I've been rewatching. I'll restart again. So I have been. I like restarted rewatching, and I'm in like season 3. But then when I went home to visit family, my brother had never seen Game of Thrones, so I restarted it with him and watched like all of season 1 again. Because at least for those seasons, I could rewatch them daily. They're so good. We don't talk about the last 2. I'm still waiting for seasons 7 and 8.
It's been like what, 7 years?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I don't know what's taking them so long. Well, I mean, they are, well, they are also just, it feels very correct. I mean, it's taken George 2 decades to write another book, so we got to give it time. I don't know how we're supposed to believe that like Jon Snow's still going to be, 20 when he's in his 60s, but hey, here we are. That's going to be crazy. Don't read the books. Well, do, but they make everything a lot weirder.
Apparently Dune gets really weird after the 3rd book.
I wouldn't know. Never read the Dune books.
Neither did I. I'm just saying what I've seen on TikTok.
Because like every character in Game of Thrones is like 30 or younger.
Yeah. Well, it's Middle Ages. They're all
so like
but
but it makes a lot of the things really weird because all of the sex scenes in the show are adults. In the books, they're not.
Yeah,
that's really weird. That's why the show is better.
Can we talk about Dune, please?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, actually, I'd rather you brought up a Game of Thrones actor. Game of Thrones is what mattered. No, you brought up Jason Momoa.
I said Aquaman.
Yeah,
you're like,
I said you brought up a Game of Thrones actor. You dumb bitch. Bro didn't listen to the words I said.
I brought up the fucking character Aquaman, not Khal Drogo. You brought up Khal Drogo. This is your own doing.
Khal Drogo the goat. What are we doing? Right, Dune. So this is a thing I was gonna save for later, but I want to bring it up now because it pissed me off. Because I re-saw the TikTok of people talking about like which movie series has better ships, Star Wars or Dune. And I'm sorry, if you think Dune has better ships, you're an idiot and deserve to die.
I think they're really inventive and cool.
What do you mean? You're dumb. They're really inventive and cool. We have ball, toilet paper roll, and dragonfly. And don't forget the landers are all just dicks. They are actively just dicks.
It's really hard to make something in sci-fi that doesn't just look like a penis.
No, Star Wars did it. Like lots. All the time. There's like, what, one that looks like a penis?
There's probably more than that.
No, there's like one that looks like a penis because most of them have like 8 different wings. So, and if your penis looks like that, you should consult the doctor.
I like the dragonfly design. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, but those exist in Star Wars too. Go rewatch episode 3, the Wookiee planets. Like yes. There's literally the dragonfly ones on Kashyyyk that the Wookiees have.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't remember.
What about the droid attack from the Wookiees?
I know what scene you're talking about, but I do not remember it. You can't drop the hard R during the mid-podcast.
I can. I did. Somebody's gonna clip that out of context.
So I read a lot of the reviews like after I watched the movie, and it's like 4 or 5 stars. I'm like, what the fuck were you guys watching? I don't understand.
I could see a 4-star thing.
I don't think I could. Like that's a full 80%. Like that's an 80.
Yeah, and you give a bunch of movies that are bad in every way 5 stars. So you're an idiot, and your ranking system doesn't matter to real people.
No, but like, this movie's a lot of setup for the next movie and the following movie. I know that for sure, and that's why a lot of people got hyped over those movies because of what comes next in the book. But like, there was nothing to sink my teeth into this at all. Like, I don't know if I wasn't committed to watching the other movies because of certain actors that I would watch the next movies. I don't like. There's nothing that would drag me in. There's a lot of interesting ideas here that I don't think are fully done right or done to the full extent that they could do. But I don't know. There's nothing that I'm like dying to dig my teeth into.
I don't know, but it's also interesting enough that I like want to watch the next one. Also, part of me wonders if that's because every clip I've ever seen from the Dune series comes from the second movie, which seems like it's just so much better since there's moments that people care about. What's a moment you care about in this movie? Other than like when Jason Momoa sacrifices himself and you're just like, because he's going to go out like a badass because he's Jason Momoa, as he has said before, he dies good.
He does.
He dies good. He's great at doing a death scene.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until Lobo dies next.
I mean, there's cool aspects to this, like the movements they do, like the knife where he does the whole little thing where it's like a greeting and like the start to a fight. Like that's cool. It's a nice idea. I know there's a TV show that probably explains all that shit because a new TV show came out recently. I don't know what it's called, but like I don't like. It's like cool idea. I don't know anything about it though.
It's like it's like there's not world building. There's just obvious customs of worlds that we don't understand that are never explained for no reason.
The first 30 minutes of this movie, I felt like what I think people who just starting to watch the MCU going to like movies now feel like. I'm like, who are you? What's happening? What the fuck's going on? I don't even know what type of government we're in till like 20 minutes in. Oh, there's an emperor that has like dukes and stuff like that. Cool. Now I understand.
But that also, emperors don't have dukes. What are we talking? Kings have dukes. I don't know. They've like mixed every sort of thing, and then like, why is there one emperor for all of space? I feel like Star Wars told us this was a bad idea.
Well, I think it was literally, I stopped the movie when I actually understood what the hell was going on. It was like the 32-minute mark. I'm like, this is a 2.5-hour movie. I should not spend a fifth of it confused.
Go watch Star Wars again. You'll spend a fifth of it just watching droids roll through a desert.
You are never going to get over that, are you?
No, I also saw a video about that that's so much funnier. Have you watched Rogue One again recently?
No.
Okay. Well, after rewatching Rogue One, it really does make the beginning of A New Hope so much funnier. And like why Vader's so angry. Like he literally just watched this ship leave the planet that shit was stolen from. And they're like, no, we're on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan on the other side of the galaxy. No, you're not. I watched you. So funny.
One aspect of the technology I really did not like was the shields.
You don't like the shields?
I fucking hate the shields.
Why?
They don't work.
They do.
They feel like stormtrooper armor, where it's like, typically, yeah, it would probably stop like a blaster bullet, but like, but they don't. It feels like a cheap way to show that the person's gotten hit. In a way where you can't show blood because it's a PG-13 movie. You're not going to be able to show as much blood as you want in a war. So you use the shield aspect to hide it, and it doesn't feel like anything's like getting blocked. It feels like it's you ever put two magnets together that are like the same, like a positive
things
together?
Do get blocked.
It doesn't feel like it.
But they do all the time. And in big situations, but like it's a shield that can be broken. That's the whole point. Is like, so you see the little thing. I don't know what it was, but the thing that kills Oscar Isaac. Leto?
Yeah.
Leto. Definitely not Leno.
Jay?
Jared? I don't know. So the little thing that's like piercing his shield, you see it like slowly piercing through it. Like they actively work. I know we see Jason Momoa cutting through the shields, but I think this movie made a very big point of building him up as like this crazy good warrior. So I think that's less of the shields not working and him knowing like weak spots and how to beat the shield. Or also maybe he's just strong enough that he can just slash right through it. Like that's totally possible.
It feels like the shield is like you just have to apply more pressure than you typically would have to like break skin. That's all it feels like.
I feel like that is good enough for a shield.
No, when I'm thinking shields, I feel like it should be like if you don't hit the proper angle, like if you're untrained or like you're not trained well enough and you're not hitting the proper angles, it should be clanking off.
But we did see that. The
When?
so when the planet gets attacked by the one dudes, and
Hernanon?
yeah, whatever. They're on the stairs, right? And the bad guys are coming up and the good guys are fighting, and none of the bad guys are landing a hit because everything's clanking off their shields, but they keep killing all of them. That showed it. And then the really good soldiers showed up behind them and then cut through them like butter, because I think that's what that was doing, is these guys aren't trained well enough to win. These guys are. And then Jason Momoa's character is trained well enough that it doesn't fucking matter, because not a single one of his attacks ever clanks off.
Sure.
And to me, that's way better explained than, because you brought up the Stormtrooper idea. You know what? There's an explanation for that in canon.
Yeah.
That the rebels and stuff just use a better quality gas for their blasters that makes it more. Dog, just fuck off. Just make a better explanation and show it in the movie. Like, I feel like this showed it well enough. It never like explicitly says it to you. And I guess if you're not like locked in, you're not gonna, because you see the shield turn like it
red.
Yeah, as it like bounces off. So if you're not like zoned in on every part of every character's body, you're not gonna see that.
That probably was my issue, is because I'm not like, this movie failed to lock me in at any point, even during the giant like siege moment. I'm like, I don't care about any of these people. Like Duncan Idaho, who is Jason Momoa's character, also horrible name. Anyways, like that's like the only character like I'm like, he's cool. I like that guy. That's the only one I really like.
Like, I'm intrigued by Paul because I don't understand the point. Like,
Paul's Jesus.
But like, well, maybe, but also he's not.
They call him the one like throughout the whole movie.
Well, yes, but the one based on that planet. Well, there's two different ones, because there's the one for the crazy words that are the weird ladies who can command you with their voices. Yeah. They keep calling him the one for them, but then they like made him the one for Arrakis.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe he actually is both. Who knows? But like
leading to the Jesus metaphor, he's like the son of God and, you know, the savior of people. You know.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I'm intrigued because I've never read the books and they didn't explicitly tell all of it. I'm intrigued at like what that actually means, like being the chosen one for each of those things. What does that actually mean?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't Star Wars never brought it up until like the prequels, but in the prequels, when they tell you about the prophecy, they like immediately tell you at least what the prophecy says, because then the movies also explain that it's like very open for interpretation, and I'd be cool with that, but they haven't even told us what the prophecy is, and that's weird.
I think they kind of did.
They tell us the prophecy for Arrakis, but not for the witches.
In that tent thing, it was like, this is gonna be a war in my father's name.
That's not even what I mean. Just the him like saving the planet, removing everything, being the guy. Like, they explain that part, but yeah, the war in his father's name, whatever. Yeah, I think that's just him seeing the future and less of the prophecy, because all of his visions are just him seeing the future.
I also want to know why the fuck he's seeing the future. It can't just be like.
And I also want to know why he's getting it wrong constantly. Like, right before the battle with that guy, I remember one person's name. I feel
the worm dude. No, they didn't fight that.
No, the battle with the guy, the Fremen guy. I don't remember his name. His like duel with him.
Yeah,
because before that, he sees himself lose that fight, but then he wins it. So like, you're not seeing the future. And I know, like, there's the voiceover that is saying, you know, when you kill somebody, it like kills part of you, and then the whole thing is like, you know, you have to die in this battle, and it could mean either way. But it's like, I don't.
Is it the first time we hear may my knife chip and shatter?
Maybe.
Because I know the huge
he said, may
line
your knife chip and shatter.
I thought he said mine.
I
don't know. It's a huge line that's used. I know in the second, it's like I know everyone coming out of the movie used that line. If that's the first time it's delivered in this series, that's fucking terrible. It was a throwaway line. This movie it was like a cool, like hard, hard ass line delivered in the worst way possible.
So it's a Fremen curse. Nope, I'm not trusting that. Hold on.
Is that the Dune wiki?
No, I want to find the Dune wiki. I would trust the Dune wiki.
I trust the Dune wiki.
No, I miss the days when the first thing that popped up on Google wasn't an AI overview.
Yeah.
So I just instinctively just read immediately, and then it's like, oh, right, this isn't real. And it's probably incorrect.
Understandable. I mean, I looked up like the WWE Women's Raw roster today. And it's like Charlotte Flair. I'm like, no, the fuck, she's not.
Okay, can I figure out where the fuck? No. Yeah, no, apparently not. All right, well, I don't know. Google's awful now. Can somebody make a new search engine, please? That's my new ask for the world.
Isn't Opera working on one that doesn't have AI?
I don't know. That'd be nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Like it's weird. All this movie did was like this feels like a 3-hour long prologue.
Yeah.
And that's kind of ass.
That's why I'm like, I'm so confused by why this was like beloved, and it's still like you can go look at the fucking
like there's
reviews.
a world
like
where
80,
I can
90s.
see Dune Part 2 being like actually fantastic. At some point that should be a Friday episode for during the MCU, just because now I want to watch it, because it feels like I just read a prologue that's like kind of boring but just had enough interesting hints where I'm like, okay, I kind of want to see where this goes, but gods, I hope it's better than what the fuck I just read.
Yeah, like I'm serious. Like if Doom Part 2 can't drag me in a little bit and like get me excited for Doom Messiah that's coming out I think next year, or the TV show, like I will be super confused what everyone fucking sees in this series, because this movie, like you said, it feels like a prologue. It feels like it's leading up to everything, and like those cool moments, like the Thumper scene where she puts the fucking thing into it and like it's calling the sandworm.
Yeah.
Also, sandworms, dope as fuck. I'll give him that. Like
the Chris knives or whatever that are made out of the teeth of the sandworm, that's fucking sick.
Like we said earlier, this movie is a lot of great ideas here. Like again, redo bags analogy I brought up at the beginning of the episode. There's a lot of cool shit here, but a lot of the fucking movie just feels like air.
Yeah. Also, I'm sad that Oscar Isaac's character had to die. I like Oscar Isaac. Why does he have to be dead in this movie?
His dead dad trauma gives a lot of like motivation,
I guess. Did Josh Brolin end up dying? I guess we'd never see on screen if he did or didn't. So Thanos might be back in the next one.
Fair.
Should have been Jason Momoa instead.
About Josh Brolin. So at the beginning of the movie, they do this little training scene where Paul and Josh Brolin's character have a little duel, and Paul gets bitched. He's getting his ass whooped. There's no following training after they proven any type of fight. And then at the end of the movie, he fights the Freemen, who are trained assassins, trained fighters, and he wins.
Okay.
Is that not a Mary Sue moment?
No. At least not to me, because I feel like, and maybe this is just me, and this is my, like, the way I just assume things work, but like in Game of Thrones and whatever, these training this training moment is not just a random training with some random dude. To me, the point of this is Josh Brolin's character is like the main head of the military, or if you're looking at like a fantasy setting, this is like the like weapons master, right? He knows everything there is to know about fighting, at least as far as this family or this house or this whatever is concerned. So yes, Paul gets bitched by the greatest fighter the Atreides have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make Paul a bad fighter. And Paul actually had like good moments, but it was constantly like a, aha, I got you. But then it's like, well, I also got you. So get fucked, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what it was to me, is that it's showing he's not Josh Brolin's character, which also probably means he's not Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a weird name.
Yeah,
okay, this movie confuses me with the way names work.
The naming scheme in this movie, like in this series, is so confusing because like there's Lady Jessica and there's Paul. Paul is your fucking Jesus character, which is like,
hi, I'm Paul.
And like they have mostly normal names. They have Duncan Idaho and Paul Atreides, dope ass last name. Like that's an all time like Skywalker, cool. But his first name is fucking Paul.
Paul. Yeah, but then you've got Wellington Yue. You've got, who else is here? Oh, so Josh Brolin's character's name is Gurney Halleck.
Yeah, it's like
bro's named after a hospital bed for some reason. I don't.
No, hospital ones aren't called gurneys. Gurneys is what the transportation device between.
You know what ambulance, the fuck I mean? But, no need to be wrong. You. Congrats, you got me one time. How does it feel? I feel like I said this about 8 episodes ago. Also, so
no, the gurney.
No, the congrats, you got me one time. I feel like I've said this like in total twice over the full year we've been doing this show, so maybe 3 times now. Congrats.
No, you done more than that. You done more than that. I know for sure. I'll make a compilation. I'll watch every episode back again.
Oh, sure.
The naming scheme is
and then Zendaya's name is just Chani.
That's a normal like
it's
sci-fi name.
Well, but nothing else is normal in this movie, so no, it's not.
Fair. There's a lot of this movie where I feel like people are like the movie wants me to be in awe of like what they're showing me. You know how like sometimes movies are like, hey, we're gonna show you a beautiful landscape, we're gonna show you how good our CGI is, how beautiful everything is. I'm like, they try to do that here. I'm like, it's a lot of fucking sand and cement. I'm sorry, this is Anakin's living nightmare.
Or it'll be like the one big, paper towel tube ship out in space, and it wants me to be in awe of that, and it's like, cool, you painted a paper towel tube gray and filmed a scene. Like this isn't impressive to me. Like that scene really felt like the first time you see a Star Destroyer, that's what it's trying to evoke, and it's like, there's nothing menacing about a tube, man. There's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This movie feels like a lot of swings, and it's like trying to get like, and it catches some people because it's like, oh, you remember Star Wars? Remember Star Wars? We're gonna copy Star Wars to enough amount where we're different. It's like we're gonna copy your homework, but be different enough where it feels semi-different.
I was gonna say that's probably why certain people like it. I wonder what the ratio of people who love Dune Part 1 is to like hating Star Wars. Because I feel like it's probably pretty high. Like if you're really into Dune Part 1, I think you just don't like Star Wars, and this gives you a lot of what Star Wars did, but without the super nerdy connotation.
Yeah, fair. I mean,
which is tough because like everything is worse in this than like. Okay, it might be written better, the story, but like when you're talking about like the setting and all of the things, yes, the knife being made out of the tooth of the thing is cool. It's not lightsaber cool though. Yeah, the ships are like okay, but none of them are as cool as like the worst Star Wars ship. That's tough. Like, and then like the Emperor thing. Like, come on, it's just Palpatine again, man. Somehow, part of me kept kind of waiting for Oscar Isaac to do the somehow Palpatine returned. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was waiting for it.
Even the sandworms kind of feel like a slight ripoff of what's the fucking thing in Return?
Oh, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Starlight Pit is stuck there, isn't it? So like the same
Yes
as
and
a
no.
movie in Starlight Pit.
Yes and no. But the Sarlacc pit's weird. The Sarlacc pits are huge.
So are the sandworms, dude. Do you think those like things were?
Yes, but in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, it's easiest to DM you on Twitter currently.
Oh, that.
But yeah, the full, like, because they aren't worms.
Well, yeah, it's a pit.
Well, it's more of a, also,
It's a.
so scientifically,
What the fuck, man? What the fuck
that's
is
a
that?
Sarlacc pit.
Is that its eyes?
Where?
The balls on like. It's
I don't
like,
know. I don't know what any of it is, but that's a Sarlacc pit.
That's weird.
So
Okay.
we were, speaking of the worms, though, they don't make sense.
The
Because
giant moving.
that's not
Worms.
why. Nothing that big could exist on that planet.
Oh yeah, no.
Especially
Eating that
with
much
like the
sand.
lack of, just like with the lack of food, unless they could
Yeah.
actively eat sand, but it doesn't say that that's, I know they like swallow sand, but that's not what they eat. So like they couldn't scientifically exist.
Okay.
I know.
Geek?
I it's sci-fi, whatever, but like at least
Can the Starlight
pretend
Pit
to make it
exist?
make sense. In like further explanation for what the Sarlacc pit is, yes. Technically, yes. but like you have to make it kind of believable.
Yeah.
And hundreds of 400-meter worms, that's not possible. There's not enough food on this desert planet.
It's like how the megalodon died.
Or enough
Yeah.
water. Like
Yeah, they drink their own piss.
they talk about how much like water it takes for like those trees.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine those fucking worms. Like that, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, a lot of this action is done in like the temple area or like the industrial areas and like or like flying, and they're doing a lot of that. But I feel like the best action is done when they're on the sand because in the back of your mind you're thinking worms are coming.
Yeah.
How fast can you get out of there? And that's when the action is best done. Like the action isn't very good. I would say I don't think there's much argument that the action is like fantastically done. I mean, watch the fucking one-on-one fight; it's very not well done. But like when they're fighting on the sand, it's like okay, now there's some like urgency to this battle. It's like it's either you gotta win this fast or you gotta get the fuck out of there, and you gotta choose one as soon as possible, or you're fucked.
Right.
Can you beat this guy now, or do you have to fucking hope to God you can get away from that worm? I if you can't tell, I really like the worms in this movie.
Yeah.
And how the whole system how the worms work are cool.
Well, there's no system for how they work because they don't work.
Shut the fuck up. I mean, like how they feel the fucking vibrations
that's cool.
of the sand. But Duncan goes.
But also
off to be
that
a
kind of
freeman.
bugged me because the way that they're supposed to walk because it's not rhythmic
Mhm.
is also its own separate kind of rhythm because you just keep repeating the same 7 steps. That's
But
a
it's the
rhythm.
movement of the
I don't-
sand. Movement of the sand. how
That
the sand
doesn't-
moves.
But that it contradicts what you told me minutes ago. Like at least make it make sense somehow. Do something.
Fair.
Or just be like, yeah, they found this way where they can walk where it doesn't displace the sand at all. That'd be cool. That would make sense. But they don't do that.
The Freemen, I think, are kind of cool. I like their suits. Their
Yeah.
suits are very sci-fi and they make a lot of sense, especially when they give you explanations like why I had the nose piecing. Because I've been watching like clips and seeing on Twitter this whole movie because people love to gloat about it, and I'm like, why do they have the nose piecing on Earth or a planet that they can breathe in? So why do they have the nose piece so they can breathe the spice and everything?
Yeah.
And they have to drink their own piss, which is a weird addition, but
Well, it's mostly the sweat, but yes, the piss is there too. That's not specifically what they talk about. They specifically say
just your
sweat.
body water. Isn't sweat just water your body produces from the water you've drinking? That's why you have to always fill up on electrolytes and.
Yes, but that's the point, is that like it's just reprocessing your sweat. That's why they talk about how you don't lose much water when you wear the suit. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
It's a sweat thing. I don't know why you're so stuck on it being piss. They never said piss.
No,
or pee or urine
they
or
said
anything.
your bodily fluids, so like that includes. They're like it's mostly sweat. What's the other bodily fluid that's liquid that you produce? And they go, ugh. They're like they gross out. They get grossed out by the suit because the other part is your piss
and some other stuff. No. Hey, what were we doing?
But the suits are cool. I like how they look. They make sense. I like that Duncan becomes a fucking naturalist for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it'd be super cool to see. Like, I don't know, be there, be like, yeah, this shit's cool as hell. I love it here. Then he dies.
The one thing I don't get is their eyes. Why they turn bright as blue because the spice. Like, is the spice radioactive?
No, but it's a drug.
It is true.
You fuck.
Do your eyes light up when you do drugs?
No, but things change with your eyes when you do drugs, and this is a non-Earth drug. Who knows what happens?
Fair.
All sorts of things happen. They get bloodshot. In this world, they just glow blue. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick to me. I want some blue glowy eyes. That's pretty sick. That is fair. Like the one thing I watch in this movie, and I was like, yeah, I want that. I want cool glowy blue eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. I love how they show like his future visions. It's like you can tell that the future because he's got blue eyes, and we're all like, okay, so he's gonna be a Freeman event.
But it's also like you can tell they're the future because they're also all set in this place he's going in the future. Like there's no ambiguity to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a lot of media when they do visions, it's like if you're having a vision of a person, it's like you see that person in nothingness, so you don't really know what it's going to be. But in this, it's just like, oh yeah, he's really got to go to Arrakis, man. There's nothing here for him. Everything's on that fucking desert planet. It's like, all right, yeah. No real. Also, the planet they're on before Arrakis is way nicer. This planet's so beautiful. No, it's not. The planet you were on before was beautiful.
Well, yeah, but they're not. They're ruined. They can't run that planet. They had to run Arrakis.
Well, they don't. Well, they got forced to run Arrakis. They were running their own planet.
Well, yeah, but apparently, like Arrakis is like a big attributor to like space travel. Why does spice make interstellar space travel?
Drugs are think about real life. Every important thing that has ever happened is because of some drugs of some kind.
Usually because we develop things on those drugs, not because
no. Like
you're telling me development of marijuana?
Developments of things in culture, developments of how things move are normally determined because of somebody doing some shit with drugs. Like you learned the best roadways for things because of how people smuggled drugs to play. Like that's just how it works. So why is interstellar travel so reliant on the drugs? Because the drug lords figured out how to get from point A to B the best way. And now everybody gets to go that way.
See, I thought of it as like fuel. That's what they made it sound like. It's like it's not possible without interstellar travel. Like it's not possible without spice. I'm like, okay, so it's fuel. But our drugs are apparently we're just having fuel the whole time.
Why not, Yeah, I guess I don't know what spice is actually supposed to be. Because it doesn't seem to affect anyone except Paul. So I don't really know. Everyone else stands out there, nothing happens. Paul stands out there and he be getting high.
It's a narcotic, they call it.
Well, that sounds like drugs.
Yeah. It played an important role in travel and cultural development as its vital space travel by enabling navigators to safely guide. They're on fucking Adderall.
Does Adderall give you visions? It didn't give me visions.
No, but it's like it's vital for space travel by enabling navigators to safely guide spaceships through fold space. I'm guessing fold space is kind of like that the thing they talk about in Interstellar where they collapses, just put a hole through it.
So they had to rename wormholes. Good writing. Just call it a wormhole, man.
I just work here, man.
You don't work.
I'm not saying that that's what fold space is. I'm guessing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if that is how that works, that's really stupid and awful.
Fair. Well, like, this movie's interesting, but like at the end of the movie, I threw up my hand. I literally, I'm telling you, I just threw up my hands. Like, okay, that's it.
Threw
That
up.
was
Mom, I threw up.
I just threw up my hands. Like, okay, that's it. That I'm like, I'm like, literally, I was dumbfounded at how people were like, this is like one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. I'm like, okay.
It didn't get interesting until the last like 12 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, now we're going to go into the story. Cool, awesome. And I realized it's already 2.5 hours in. I'm like, what?
It's over. All right. I guess I'll watch the next one then, except I won't because I don't know.
And this movie came out, I think, 2019?
2021.
Okay. Well, Dune 2 came out 3 years later. People wait 3 years.
That's crazy. I'm glad I didn't watch when it came out.
And Dune Messiah comes out next year.
And we'll probably watch the second one sometime around the end of the year. So, well, it'll be the end of the year for anybody who watches that review. It'll probably be like next week for us. No.
That's not how that works.
Could be. They don't know where we are. This video was recorded in January.
Lie to them.
Why not? They wouldn't know if you wouldn't have said anything, you dildo.
Don't call me a dildo.
I'm really impressed.
Oh,
Miller got really excited because I called somebody in his D&D game a fuck bag. And he thought those were really good insults.
It feels like you're just calling them a pocket thing. I'm trying to get us demonetized. We said piss like 4 times. But like this movie's like I'm still befuddled. Like
You're torn.
Like I'm torn. Like it's like yes, there's a lot of good shit here, but also and again, I'm gonna go back to the Doritos bag analogy. There's some good shit in there. Doritos are delicious. There's some good Doritos in here, but goddamn, a lot of this movie felt like nothing. And I'm hoping the next movie feels like something. And I'm still trying to figure out why some people feel like they got 80% of the bag full, when I feel like I got like maybe half the bag full.
Right.
That's why I gave it a 2.5 in Letterboxd. Like I'll be.
I'm probably gonna give it like a 3. I haven't yet. I've just been trying to figure it out because like I don't want to give it too much of a mid score because it did enough to make me want to watch the next one.
Yeah.
But it's like I have a feeling that like if I enjoy the next one, it'll be one of those things where almost like Star Wars, where I don't actually care to go back and watch the first one. I want to watch the later ones that do something for me.
Yeah. Like this is the necessary information we need to go watch the actual ones that matter.
Yeah.
But like I like that's the thing.
I feel like you could have put that in a text scroll before the movie.
Disney would have had a lawsuit for Warner Brothers. So.
Maybe.
But like I don't know. I gave it 2.5. I feel like it's half bag full here. I just don't. I don't get it, Geek. I don't understand.
You don't get it?
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't entirely get it either.
And I'm hoping the second movie, if the second movie makes this better, I'm not going to raise the score because the movie by itself is a 2.5 in my mind.
It could like raise the score for the series if you like rated the thing as a whole.
Yeah, if I was like, okay, yeah, this series isn't went from okay to like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go. But like this movie didn't make me want to like, didn't make me like beg for a second movie.
You
Like
know,
if they never made one, like, and if I watched this in theaters, I'd be like, okay.
you know what I think is the dumbest thing in this movie?
Uh, Jesus is named Paul.
No, when they're talking about like the planet as a whole, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the sun's, you know, so intense here. It's so intense. Not a single character of any kind ever wears eye protection. If the
That's so
sun
cool.
was
They wear
actually
helmets.
that don't cover their eyes.
Well, no, some of them wear helmets where like it has the visor. I'm guessing the visor would have some eye protection. But that's
Not
me, Cat. That's
not
me like,
actually. It's like wearing a hat. Like, have you ever, like, when it's really snowy, he's taking both headphones out for no reason?
no, I heard a weird sound.
When it's like really snowy, you know, when you
Yeah.
go outside, even if you're wearing a hat, it's the sun rays bouncing off the snow that really fucks up your eyes. Sand does the same thing. So a visor isn't going to do anything from the sand. That's not how that works.
No, I get it.
It's bad. That's bad. That's just dumb.
That's fair.
Also, that could have been an excuse to make everybody wear some really cool sunglasses.
Can we just Paul like doing like a
Paul rocking
monologue and-
aviators.
Oh my god, I kind of want to edit the fucking thumbnail that Paul.
Please do. That would be so funny. Is there a picture of Timothy Chalamet with aviators?
Oh, there definitely is. But
I think that's the first movie I've ever seen
I can
Timothy Chalamet in.
I don't like Timothy Chalamet. I want to punch him in
Why?
the face. He just looks like he's very punchable in the face. And no, you watched Interstellar.
Oh, fuck, right. He was the kid.
Yeah. This is the
Huh.
second time we've seen Timothy Chalamet.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen Timothy Chalamet in. By a lot.
That's crazy.
I've seen two. And like
Give me your-
Interstellar's
give me
like
your
my
Timothy-
favorite movie of all time. So tough.
Fair. Give me your Timothy Chalamet rig.
Interstellar, 50 feet of dog shit, Dune.
Oh, please, that's my dog, by the way.
Speaking of
Speaking
dog,
of-
indeed. What else is Timothy Chalamet in?
He's in Little Women. I want to say he was in Lady Bird. I think he was in Call Me by Your Name.
I don't
He's
know
in
what any
Wonka.
of those mean. He was in Wonka. Never seen it.
No.
Yeah, I've
I
never
didn't wanna
seen.
see it.
Wait, Edgar
He's in Spring Rock.
Scissorhands? What? They made a
Edgar
new
Scissorhands?
Edward Scissorhands? Oh
Never
no,
heard of it.
it was an ad. It was an
Oh.
ad. It wasn't real. I
Well, it
wish
was
it
real,
was
just-
though.
Ad form. You want a sequel to Edward Scissorhands?
I haven't watched that movie in so long, so I don't know if I actually do.
I don't.
My
I've
brain
been, like,
says maybe, but like,
I've had 2 ex-girlfriends beg me to watch it. I've had my mother beg me to watch it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. This doesn't seem interesting.
why?
The guy's got scissors for hands. That's like
Pretty
that's a
interesting.
creepypasta. That's a creepypasta, not a fucking
No.
movie. Trust me, I watched Slenderman. That's a bad movie.
I don't know
trust-
they made a Slenderman movie.
We can watch it for a friend.
You could make a good Slenderman movie, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Slenderman can be a fantastic movie. The movie's not good.
That's tough. It's crazy that all started from a really shitty game.
Actually, no. It started from a contest,
Really?
like a Photoshop contest. Yeah.
I thought it just came from a really shitty game.
No, the
Like, yeah,
creator
just walk
was-
around this forest and gather pages. If this thing sees you, you die. Okay.
So the creator entered a Photoshop contest. He made Slenderman as the background character in a playground. It I think got like 3rd place, but since it didn't like get anything significant, it got spread around the internet as creepypasta or copypasta at that point in time. Made it into creepypasta, and then the game came out because it was inspired by those creepypastas. I used to be really into Slenderman, if you couldn't tell.
Crazy.
You guys think that you won? Okay, you picked the worst spot in this whole place to get pets. Under the desk and like ass out is not helping. There you go. Go boy. Jesus Christ, this dog.
No, Paul Atreides, actually.
He is Jesus Christ. I still think he's Mary Sue. because he kind of just does things and they work out for him.
Yeah, well,
If you say Ray is Mary Sue, then Paul Atreides is Mary Sue.
I've never said that, you dumb cunt, and I
No,
don't,
but
I don't know. I don't look. We are. I don't understand calling like, yes, he's a Mary Sue, Ray's a Mary Sue, Luke's a Mary
Everyone's Mary
Sue,
Sue.
Anakin's a Mary Sue. When you are taking the place, not just of the main character, but taking the place of like supposedly the chosen one, yes, you're a Mary Sue. That is how that works. You are good at things because you are supposed to be, which makes you kind of not a Mary Sue. You are just literally a prophesized being. Harry Potter, kind of a Mary Sue. Also, but maybe not, because Harry's like really bad at like everything all of the time. How is that dude still alive? He's not good at anything.
I'll make a comment.
Bro should comment. It's very quiet.
I don't care why.
But like, I don't know. Part of me doesn't think Mary Sue's a real thing. I think it's just a thing idiots say.
Technically, nothing's a real thing. You're really gonna get down to the semantics of it. We all made it up. We made it all up.
No, but I mean, like, I don't think, like...
Technically, what you're seeing right now actually isn't real.
Name a story where a character is actually a Mary Sue, where that can't be explained away by just, they're literally the chosen one.
Like, that's kind of a cop-out answer. Been like,
yeah, but
he's the chosen one,
it's kind of a cop-out way to write a story, yet it's every single one of the most famous, most beloved stories is that. So,
well, like, you can be a chosen one and be like, here's why he's gonna. Percy Jackson does that all the time.
Not really.
Why? Yes.
No, I didn't read the books. I did just watch the Disney show though. Oh, that's why he's great at fighting for no reason. He's never trained. He's never held a sword, but he's winning every fight. Yeah, that's not a Mary Sue at all. That's definitely explained. Oh, right. Yeah. It's because his father's Poseidon. That's an explanation that makes it okay. Oh, wait, that's the same thing I'm saying. You're just a dumb bitch.
Well, he's overpowered for a reason. They give the reason why he's overpowered. But also,
because he's Poseidon's son, hashtag the chosen one, hashtag the same fucking thing. Hashtag you're a dumbass.
The book series, he gets even more overpowered too, so
so shut up. You're not helping. You're actually proving me right, not yourself.
Well, they explain why he's overpowered rather than, hey, he's the chosen one.
Yeah, it's, hey, his dad's Poseidon. Congrats. That's not it's the same thing.
I feel like it's a better explanation and better writing.
Well, I mean, then this movie is just as good as that, because the explanation keeps being that Jessica is like the best of these witches, because they kept saying it. The reason we have to care and the reason you're so powerful isn't because you're an Atreides. It's because you're Jessica's son. And then they talk about all that potential being wasted on a dude. Kind of loved that line.
I did too.
But like, so the movie makes like a very big point of saying like Jessica is like the most powerful of them, and then like that must mean.
I think she's prophesized as like a Mother Mary and was supposed to deliver a woman like chosen one and in their whole
but
religion,
also she wasn't, because their whole religion thing talks about a dude. I can't remember what the name they said for the one is, but they very explicitly say it's a dude.
Fair.
Which is also really weird. I don't really like that. Just as like a story
Mary character in this though.
But
like,
I mean, like, I don't like this thing that is supposed to be completely ran by women. We have to write it that their chosen one is a dude. That doesn't make any sense. It's a little fucked
up when a matriarchal society is like, yeah, man.
It's like, what? I don't think that's. No. What about? I will not accept this. Like, that's weird.
Like, that's be me, but like,
honestly,
women.
Back to Game of Thrones. That's kind of what I love about Game of Thrones. Is there is a chosen one thing. There is supposed to be a chosen one. Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised. But the place that prophecy is from, the word for prince does not just mean prince. It is prince and or princess. And everybody just forgets that, because in Westeros, where they really only care about dudes, they just keep saying prince. But that's not accurate. And so the show fucks it all up anyways.
It's Sasha, isn't it?
No, The show doesn't really make it be anybody. Not really, because like the thing that the prophesized being is supposed to do, 4 different people do individual parts of the prophecy, which makes no sense. But I am like 100% sold on it being Daenerys. Like, it's Daenerys.
Yeah.
She is the prince that was promised.
I watched half
Which,
of that,
like,
half
dude,
season of that show.
Have you heard her title? Like, how she is introduced everywhere?
Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragon, Prince, the Queen of blah 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 blah. Queen of Westeros at one point, I think.
Daenerys Stormborn of the House Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the 7 kingdoms, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, the Breaker of Chains. Because the best is when she's introduced to Jon Snow, and the guy steps up. This is Jon Snow. He's king in the north.
I want to watch more of that show just because of Daenerys. Like,
Daenerys is the goat. Jon's the goat. Sansa and Arya end up as really cool characters. They are not for a lot of the show. Jaime is a really cool character. Cersei's a cunt, and I wish she was dead. From like the first episode of the show, I wish she didn't exist.
Yeah, she tells her brother to push a kid out a window.
That's not even where it starts, but yeah. Who else is cool? Theon is the one character who's not ruined by the shitty last season. He actually like has a cool arc at the end. He sucks for most of the show, though. Let me tell you, I hate that guy. But then the last season, the one redeeming quality is that the worst guy you've ever known is redeemed at the end of the show.
Like, that's the only reason like I want to continue watching the show, because it's the one character I like grabbed onto for like the first like half of that season, and then it's like I hate going back to, like, the wall's cool. I like the wall, but like I hate going back to like, I don't know, is it what is like the whole country's Westeros? What's the fucking King's Landing?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like, I don't like going back there.
It's
like,
Joffrey sucks.
Like, all these people fucking suck. I want to see all of them dead.
Robert Baratheon's cool.
Dead.
Like, sometimes, like, he's a shitty person. My favorite scene in like all of Game of Thrones, though. Sorry, we're very distracted. Welcome to the end of the show. We're an hour in. It's about over. But like, my favorite scene is when Robert's sitting in King's Landing and he's talking with Barristan and Selmy, and they're like sharing war stories about the first kill they ever got. And, you know, Robert does the whole breakdown of how some Tarly boy, and, you know, he thought he could end the rebellion with one swing of his sword. Stupid. Like that scene. And then Jaime comes in and tells about the first. And then, you know, what did the Mad King say when you stabbed him in the back? The same thing he'd been saying for hours. Burn them all. And Robert's face of just like, oh shit. I've never understood the hate for Jaime in show for that. Like, the guys leading the rebellion on their way to kill the Mad King are upset at the guy who killed the Mad King for them. That doesn't make any sense. He did what you wanted. I don't understand. Now, he didn't do it for the reasons you wanted, because he did it because the Mad King was going to kill a bunch of people and his father, so he did it. But, like, still, he did what you wanted. And then he didn't even try to take the throne for himself. He waited and let you have it. Like, I feel like he did everything correctly, and you're hating on him for no reason because he broke his oath. So did you by starting this war. What do you mean? I don't get it. Kingslayer. Wear that leg armor. That's a sick ass nickname.
I just like Geek on his autistic rant.
Dude, we do. We're going to watch Game of Thrones. That is going to be a thing we do. That's going to be a Friday review thing. You'll get 8 episodes of it. Okay. Not back to back, but like eventually you'll get all.
We're not doing that shit back to back.
Oh yeah, we're doing that while we're doing Marvel. Every week we're reviewing a season of Game of
I
Thrones
would
while doing.
not. I think I would like lose my fucking mind just because like there's so much I'd have to like keep track of.
Yeah,
and
no, that'd be
too
tough.
much.
That'd be tough.
No, but next week we officially start our month of Chadwick, which we've been like
Yes.
talking about every so often. That's gonna be on Monday stuff. We have two. I know that we have an episode after this that is a Friday thing. But we start our month of Chadwick starting in August. We're gonna be honoring Chadwick. 4 movies. We started 42 with Jackie Robinson. I'm very excited to revisit that movie. It's
Such a good movie.
I remember that movie so fondly, and I see it on TikTok. I saw it on TikTok like a month ago. I'm like, I want to rewatch this. Okay, I haven't been. I'm not sure about it. And I was like, I'm gonna rewatch it, and I'm like, fuck, I can't because Dueling Fates.
Yep.
So I'm very excited to get back into that. But we'll start with the Chadwick next week. Let us know what you guys think about Dune. Are we stupid? Or try to show us the way of why this is like give it like 2.5, 3 stars. But until then, remember to like, subscribe, do whatever podcast you prefer. Bye bye.